you have neck pain, then you're probably really familiar with that deep urge to try and pull and push and stretch and crack the pain away. But if you're watching this video, then chances are good that that strategy may not be working for you very well. So what I want to offer you is a different approach, a tool that you can add to your neck pain relief technique toolbox. And this particular tool I really like because it works with the body rather than against it. This technique is called the bobblehead. I couldn't come up with a better name. And it brought me so much relief when I was in the depths of my chronic neck pain journey, and still really helps me to this day. It's extremely simple and it goes like this. So you're gonna sit up straight, find your center of gravity, which basically just means that your head is stacked on top of your shoulders, stacked on top of your hips, and you're able to just balance there without too much effort. And then you're going to start to sway side to side and backward and forward. You're gonna probably feel a little stiff at first, and that's okay, particularly if you have had chronic neck tension for years, like I did. You probably feel that your neck doesn't really move that easily and that you may feel like a piece of wood. Just keep doing this until you start to feel a little bit of a sway, and that's all it looks like. Can you see how my head is swaying rather than moving stiff side to side like this? It's starting to sway. Like a tree swaying in the wind. And we're just going to use very gentle movements. So not like this, we're not like, we're not having a Willow Smith like, I flip my hair back and forth, I flip my hair back and forth. No, it's very gentle. It's just like this. And once you start to feel a little bit of movement, like that swaying movement through your head and neck, you're going to bring your body to a standstill, re-find your center of gravity, but then keep moving with your neck and your head. And I just want to reiterate how small these movements are. And I want you to feel into your head and neck and just allow whatever movement feels good, so long as it is gentle. It may be very tempting to go back to the big stretching movements. This is not a stretch. So, finding those little, call them micro movements, and that's it. You may feel your head start to sort of like go in circles like this. Might feel that side to side motion, backwards and forwards. My head likes to do figure eights with my nose. And notice how I said my head likes to. Because the thing that I love about this is when you're not trying to control the head, it really, oddly, it has a mind of its own. It's like you'll start to feel the movements like moving through you. It'll start to feel like your body is moving you rather than you are moving your body. And it might take you a little while to get that feeling, but it's kind of like, exactly like a bobblehead. You know, you just give the bobblehead a little bit of a push, which is what we did with the sway. That was just a way to get a little bit of movement going. And then the bobblehead, depending on what kind of bobblehead you have, but they tend to just kind of like bubble around. You can also imagine it that your head is a balloon and that your spine is the string, and that there's just a very gentle breeze. Because the string doesn't control the balloon. It's not like the string and the balloon move like this. They move sort of independently of each other, but the balloon is floating and moving very fluidly. I guess fluidity is the word that I want you to keep in mind. And if you do have chronic neck pain, chances are good you do if you're here, you may not find that fluidity straight away. And that's okay. This is just introducing the idea of fluidity, the idea of flow, and relaxing small, good feeling movements into the head and neck. This technique is to help the brain remember what it feels like to let go. What happens when we have pain in an area, it tends to get very locked up and very like gripping, you know, the head, it's like the neck tries to hold onto the head, hold everything down. You end up kind of moving like this. Now, for anyone who'd like to know the anatomy, the skull sits on the first vertebrae in a way that allows the head to move backwards and forwards. And then the C1, so the first vertebrae, sits on the second vertebrae with what's called a pivot joint. That joint allows the head to move side to side. And then C2 to C7, they're all joined together with what are called intervertebral joints.
Editing Ellen here. So I said intervertebral joints, and I said it so confidently, but I am wrong. It's intervertebral discs and facet joints. This is what happens when you haven't studied anatomy in many years and you say things with a little bit too much confidence.
And those joints allow a little bit of movement in every direction, but not much. Individually, they only move a tiny bit, but then stacked on top of each other, they allow us to do all of the movement that we're supposed to do in every direction. But when the neck muscles and the fascia and all of the connective tissues become really tight, like chronically tight for long periods of time, and everything becomes so stiff and stuck in the neck, each of these joints are not able to move in the way that they're supposed to, which can then lead to all the different kinds of pain. Now, there are a whole host of different types of neck pains and causes of neck pain, but this is generally how the neck is set up. You know, I'm giving you the most basic overview. I'm not an expert in this either. This is just, you know, a little baby introduction to how it's all set up so that you can kind of visualize like, oh, okay, it's supposed to move kind of like this. You know, there's very little independent joint movement. Say like our elbow, it's the only joint that's going on and it's just straight. The neck doesn't move like that. It needs to be able to move interdependently. All of the joints need to be able to move. They need to have the freedom to move all together to let us do what we need to do. Turning our head, looking up and down, going side to side. That's why neck tension can just feel so... neck tension can just be so uncomfortable because we need the smooth movements of so many joints. And that's why I love this exercise, because that's really what it's encouraging, is for it to move all together like a slinky. It doesn't force us to do any extreme movements, and it kind of just it helps the brain remember like, oh, that's right, movement is safe. Anyway, that is the bobblehead exercise. It is so simple. You can do it for as short or as long as you like. I personally just do it for a couple of minutes, particularly when I'm on the go or like I'm sitting at my desk and I've been there for a while and I'm just feeling really stuck and stiff. That's when I'll use it. I'll just kind of like use it as like a circuit breaker. Another scenario that this technique is really helpful for is when you've already been prescribed neck exercises, say like a strength or a stretching exercise, but you're finding that that exercise actually makes your symptoms worse. You may have so much tension that when you ask the muscles to engage or stretch, it actually aggravates your pain. If you're in that situation, this can be extremely helpful to just encourage your body to let go of enough tension to make your other exercises more accessible. And the third scenario where, I'm sure there's more than three, but another time that this can be really helpful is when you're a bit stressed and you need kind of like an emotional circuit breaker. So I was actually really nervous to film this video. I was getting all caught up in these thoughts of like, oh, it's too simple, it's silly, this isn't gonna help anyone, I'm gonna look dumb. And I could feel the tension just like really getting stuck in my neck. For me, that's where my stress always shows up first. I am a hold it in my neck kind of gal. When I could feel the tension really starting to build because I was getting emotionally worked up, I thought, okay, I'm just going to sit and bobblehead for a few minutes and then see how I feel after that. So I did, and I just like let go, dropped back into my body. I sort of brought my mind out of these anxious, stressed out thoughts, brought it back into my body, and then just encouraged a little bit of flow, a little bit of soothing. It's like a self-soothing technique. And it really helped me shift from this like stress response to a parasympathetic nervous system response, which basically means like I've gone from fight and flight to calm. And it was so helpful that I was like, well, I guess I have to film this video now. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please chuck them below in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, I have 35 minutes. There's gonna be a lot of cuts. Okay. Yes. Is this pulling and pushing and stretching and flick it and bop it and pull it and crack it, pull it, stretch it, crack it, flip it, bop it, crack it, push it, pull it, stretch it, crack it, bop it. Okay, what was I saying?